Chris won't be here because she's got
Carol's connecting.
That's it. Hi, Pauline.
Hi, Carol. You all right?
How are you? Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, thanks. Can't see you though.
Oh, no, hang on. I've got my square up, but I'm no picture.
Oh,
you'll be all right now. So I've just asked you to do it.
oh, there you go. You're there now.
Oh, is it only us two? Oh no.
Oh, no, Anne's here.
Anne, hi Anne.
Yeah. Gordon's working, so he's going to be in and out, I think.
Yeah, I'll probably have to leave early. The carers are coming earlier.
Oh, right.
And I won't be here next week because I've got to take Peter to the hospital for an X-ray, chest X-ray.
Oh, right.
So we're having transport, so it's a whole morning job. We got to be ready we got to be ready just after 9 o'clock.
Oh, right.
Up at the crack of dawn.
Huh.
Oh.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Oh dear, my cow was a bit disastrous. I got in a mess with that.
I haven't finished mine yet. I don't know why. I think sometimes if I do it late afternoon, it gets a bit dark and then I can't see properly. So
that time of year, isn't it?
It's ongoing.
It's just fitting it in, isn't it, with everything else?
Sounds like I've got a busy life, but I haven't really. But I just haven't got round to it.
Oh, I'm always busy doing something or other. Yeah.
That's the beauty of doing this Zoom malarkey, because you can sort of
work round it.
After Tuesday lunchtime, you've got
a week,
sort of 5-6 days.
Yeah.
So you can discuss. Well, I'm lucky. Well, I don't know. I start it. I do mine this morning. You know, and like we say, it's warts and all. There's always mistakes and that in it, or not necessarily. I always comes Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday morning, I'll look back and I look at it and I think, well, it's not the finished product as such, but it is the groundwork and the, you know, more often than not, there's just a few bits that need tweaking. Last week, the cow one, well, I'd already ordered a grey watercolor pencil, so, and that came on the Wednesday, so I was having a little bit of fun flicking, because it's got like hairs all down its nose, isn't it, and the shadows so I was, like doing it more and more. I keep saying it, it's more like George, I sort of scratching away and I haven't touched it much since, but I look, it's on the easel and I look at it and I think, do you know what, that's all right, that. And trouble is, being vegetarian, I asked Mel as well, I said, hey, look at me cow, you know, like sort of thing. And all I get is a yeah, it's all right. Don't even get an all right. Because
well, you're only drawing it, aren't you? You're not eating it.
Yeah,
she's not.
Perhaps we should do a carrot next time.
Well, there were some good ones come in anyway. Christine's not coming today, talking to them.
Right.
She's gone to a birthday party.
Oh,
right.
Nice.
Or she's going during the day to one. 100-year-old lady, friend of hers.
Oh God.
Wow.
That's good.
Not sure I want to go that long.
Wow.
But then I said to Chris was saying about it, but when she was 95, I think it was the Echo came to take a photo or something like that.
Oh,
and she said, oh, can you hang on a minute? I'm just finishing this game of table tennis.
oh no. Oh gosh.
So today is she's at the pub playing pool or something. Oh dear, I thought that was quite valid. Who else is due?
Joy?
Joyce. About it, isn't it? Yeah. It's only Joyce. I've just sent her an invite just in case she had a problem. And got a new lady coming next week.
Oh,
Jane.
right.
Her husband, I discovered, is does photographs of stars, or a bit of that as well. So I've been chatting to him, sort of inadvertently. That's good fun. Let me see. I wanted to share the screen. If I can find the. Oh, hang on. Where are we? Artists. Yeah, yes, we've had artists. Oh, we've gone. Got some. I don't know what I'm doing here. Hang on. What the? Right, go to the Zoom meeting. Oh, maybe it's doing it then.
Oh dear.
Let's cancel that bit. Oh, I opened it and no, it's not there. That's the one I want to share. Right. Sounds fiddly, but I will get there. Oh yes, there you are. That's where we ended up last Tuesday.
Yeah.
No, that was it last Tuesday, Squirrel? Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got this little cutie from Mrs. Coleman. Very
That's sweet.
sublime. That's a real bushy tail on that one. Imagine that in an illustration, couldn't you? In a book.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
That was Carol's.
Yeah, I haven't got the tail quite right, have I?
I don't know. Is there a right? Because they'd flick them and they'd go all different shapes, don't they? So I don't think there is a right, really.
I had a job drawing that. I don't know why. I kept rubbing it out. I thought,
I know. Me too. Me too.
You think, oh, it'd be easy, but it's not.
Yeah. Then partway through drawing it, I thought, looks like a blooming rat. That done it then, because you're at that point you're only doing the face bit.
You got that idea in your head.
Yeah. So then it became. That's the beauty of drawing stuff, though, isn't it? That as you do it, you spot different similarities with other things within it, which is great fun. So then,
whose is that? That's nice.
that was our Chrissy.
Chrissy, yeah.
She's gone. That was an acrylic one.
Yeah.
I think they're acrylic pencils. Or was it? Or was it watercolor pencils?
Really? Oh.
Might be.
Oh yeah, she did say something, didn't she? Because she put it on and it all went in together or something. I don't know.
It looks a bit softer, doesn't it?
Watercolor pencil?
No, we'll have to check with her. I wasn't sure if it was that. Yeah, it is. It's watercolor pencils on canvas, and she said, "I ain't doing that again." Horrible. But when you look at the picture, you think, "Hang on a minute." It's got a subtlety about it. And that was Joyce.
That's nice.
Oh, that's cute.
It's great, the background sort of being diffuse, sort of blurry backgrounds works really well, doesn't it? Everyone's doing great guns. That was Pauline's. I love Pauline's because it's stuck to the brief. It's got a Christmas sparkler down one side. I thought, yeah. When I first saw it, I thought, oh crikey, she's put sparklers on it. You know, the doodahs. That's a good one. That I like that. Stop that share. And I've got. Then we got from last week was. Hang on. I don't know why I had it's a word moment. I couldn't find the file in the computer. The word it starts with cow. Now, what the heck's difficult about finding the word cow in a list of words? But it doesn't stand out for me. It must be my autism. That was Carol's. What's wrong with that?
Good, yeah.
Wow. Well, the ears weren't very good.
Well,
I had a job with the one on the brown thing. Yeah.
I don't shift. If I do shift view, can just darken it or do whatever I want. It's all right to me. I think everyone does it different. That was Christine. She's called hers Daisy.
Oh, she's got something round her, hasn't she? Oh, daisies. Yeah.
Little flowers
Yeah.
That's
pottering
good.
around.
Very pop eyes.
I couldn't eat that.
Oh.
Like saying you're going to eat Peppa Pig, isn't it? Oh no. That was Joyce. That's a wow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know how she does these.
Joyce going off piste again.
I don't know how she does them. They're absolutely amazing.
They're good, aren't they? Yeah.
Especially, but the thing about these ones are, like, I could put that in Photoshop and change all the colours
Oh.
and do all funny things to it and make it look really, really fascinating. I think there's some here, isn't
See what Joyce did with the cow. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
She's very clever at imagining it all.
Yeah, it's a
do
nice one.
pop art.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean that's just a quick doodah, but there's loads of different ones. And you could change it all around, which is great.
Oh.
Awesome stuff.
Psychedelic.
Psycho, definitely on Summit. And that's the last that we haven't all. They're not all in yet. That was a good one. I like that. So, talent will out. So if I close, I'll get cluttered here. My desktop, my Windows desktop. Always having pictures open. Today's adventure in the world of art. Every time you think, I hate repeating myself, but every time you think this is going to be straightforward, going to come and bite you in the bum, isn't it? In the buttock. I did have two base images, that one, but I thought,
Oh God, that'd be hard.
Yeah, that looks a bit complicated.
Oh gosh.
well, I would have done it, but I've gone for, I was thinking, come on Dave, you only got half hour. But I don't think it matters. They're all flipping whatever they are. I haven't really got any thoughts about this apart from, blimey. Every time you look at it, these pictures, you see more things in it and not. The hard thing I think when I was drawing it, I've got my drawing on here, was, and I'm going to no, it's not there. I formed a laugh this morning, I think, is the mouth. The lips, they're sort of out of proportion. Everything about Rowan Atkinson's out of proportion to the rest of him. Is are my brows real or are they painted on? I don't know. They'll be painted on in a minute. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll have a laugh anyway. I think I'll stick my have we got a plan? The hard thing is more often than not, is deciding what colour the eyes are. You can see why I always paint them green though first now. There's always that hint of green colour in them. Zooming it in.
Bloodshot. I think he'd been out on the town the night before.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's quite young there, isn't he?
The irony is that I don't know about you guys, but if I go back to being sort of 14, 13 at school, there was kids in school that looked like that.
Oh,
Definitely
dear.
where there was one or one, possibly two particular that definitely had that sort of flair about them. That was good fun. So anyway, I'm raring to go now.
Oh, good.
No, I think it'll be what it is. What other news? Well, Joyce hasn't appeared, has she? So always very,
Busy.
yeah.
So you said you went to the church. Was it?
Oh, it wasn't,
church
no, it wasn't
where-
our church.
Oh, right.
It was,
I
yeah,
didn't think it was.
it was the one at Iford.
Right.
No, it's good. At least you read what I said.
Mm.
It's nice to know someone's actually read it.
Oh, I would read it, yeah.
I try to make them humorous. Yeah, my arm's still a bit sore.
Yeah,
Yesterday it was,
yeah,
couldn't
it
lift
lasts
it.
about 3 days, doesn't it?
Yeah, seems okay now. Just grin and bear it.
You had yours done, Pauline?
Yeah, I had mine done about a month ago.
Oh, right.
So,
Oh, yeah, I remember you saying you got in
Yeah.
early.
Yeah, and I didn't feel very well the next day. My arm, I couldn't lift it up to my shoulder even.
Really? Oh,
Thursday,
gosh.
yeah. But I mean, it didn't last long.
It's funny how it affects people differently, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. But there's still a lot of people out there with it.
Oh, God, yeah.
Granddaughter's just got it up in Weston-super-Mare.
Oh, gosh.
She's 11.
Crikey.
Back from school, 30 out of the 40 in class have got it.
Oh,
Crikey.
gosh.
Yeah,
Is she all right with it?
yeah, she's not too bad. But it's
No, I've
trying
had-
to keep her away from the rest of the family.
That's right, yeah. I've had friends that have had it, and a couple of them have felt, really tired and had awful cough. And,
Yeah, yeah,
so, yeah.
yeah. Touch wood, I haven't got anybody I know, apart from the grandchildren. But as I say, they're up in Weston-super-Mare.
Right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I can hear you. You can hear me. That's got to be a good sign. It's got a lot colder, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Horrible.
Definitely. Nice and sunny there.
Yeah, I've been take the dog out, and it's like, ooh, this
Well,
is
I bet he's
interesting.
grown, isn't he?
I'm really looking forward to its first snow.
Yeah.
Oh,
First
they
day
love
of
the
snow.
snow, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Mind you, we
when
don't
they're
get
puppies,
much of it, do we?
yeah, and when they're puppies, like it's the first time they ever see it, and it's like,
Yeah.
ooh, I ain't going out there. And then they got 4 legs, and they put them like, oh, put it down. Oh, what we got? I've got to put one leg down, and it's quite
Oh,
funny. Cats are funnier still, on
Yeah.
because their tails go straight up. Yeah, that's great fun. So, I spent money.
Oh, what have you bought now? What's that?
This is Old Holland pink medium.
Oh,
It's watercolor. It's a bit of flesh.
oh.
I thought, I've been doing it a lot. I've ordered some more oil watercolors as well. Water soluble oils. I thought one week we'll have a go at that. When effect, I mean, just out of interest to see what it's like. But I've got to buy some oil paper, I think, and one of those. I've got a Stay Wet palette box that I made of my own, but I thought I'd get a proper one, a bit more airtight, because that's what you need. So when you finish, you put the lid on, and it keeps it all nice and fresh, doesn't it? I'm still using this palette though. I've got palettes everywhere here. So even the other day I was thinking, Maybe I should sell some of these palettes. I've got one here. I found lying around. It's a tin.
Oh God.
It's really old. It's oh, don't know which. That must be the right way up. Winsor and Newton.
Oh God.
Oh,
Yeah, that. Yeah. No, it's De La Rowney. Inside, it's like all the loads of paints,
Mm.
and I hydrated. They all work, and that must be going back to the blooming 50s. That.
Oh, gosh. It's an antique.
yeah.
But it's perfectly works really well. Right. He who dares wins. I have no fear. A little photo of matey boy. I think I'm gonna. I keep saying every flipping week. I've got a routine, a plan to go to. I haven't got a flipping. I don't think there is one. I think the initial stage for me, I did it the other day, was to use the mop and make the base try and miss out the eyes. Can you see all right?
Yeah.
Just make it wet with clean water. This is what I'm going to do today. I've got the hairdryer ready to go as well, just in case. But as I said earlier, the beauty of doing it like this is that you can sort of do one bit, let it dry naturally, and then come back and have another little go. Find a nice soft brush. You find a nice soft brush. Yeah, I put a little dollop of this pinky colour that in my palette. It's a bit strong. And I went out with a bottle to top up my spray bottle and forgot to bring it back. So just bear with me 2 secs while I dunk it in my water. They're great, these little spray bottles, aren't they?
If they work.
Yeah, occasionally
They don't work, do they?
yeah,
Sometimes?
I just take them down to Mel and say, have you got your needle? Can you just poke it in this hole?
Yeah.
And that sort of brings it back to life. Only reason I want it is because I want to make the little fleshy tone as dilute as possible. Because I just want it to be like just going to drop it in. Maybe a bit pinky, but got to try these things. But I think if the reason, if you make it nice and wet first, and I haven't done it yet, but I will do, tilt your board, then it'll run and you'll get those nice variations of tone, because it'll sort of normal watercolor really, isn't it? I just think it's a good idea I think the general consensus is you build it up with sort of washes. But if you haven't got flesh, remember, just a bit of raw sienna, a little bit of pinky red, alizarin crimson, and it will just make them up anyway. but I must admit, just lately I got this. Why? If you can buy it and it's a nice colour, why? Just do it. It saves time, and it works quite well. And while it's still damp, if you look at the photo and try and pick out any darker bits, if you've got a stronger bit of fresh tint, drop it in while it's all nice and damp, and it will give you that sort of nice bit there, isn't there? Now this is the fresh that we had from weeks ago that was just burnt sienna. What did I say just now? Raw sienna and the thingy that I mixed up. If you just let it do that and then dry, just let it dry naturally. It's a bit much paint there, so if you've got a tissue, Dave? I think I have, sir. You can just mop it up with a brush. Don't want to, he's got a pink shirt otherwise. But I'll do it anyway. Could do with a darker flesh tone. So you spend all that money on, and then just go a bit of raw sienna, a little smidgen of Alcyon crimson, or that is rose madder, and whoosh, there you go. You've got a darker version of that. How clever am I? Yeah, but I'm just looking at the Matey Boys. It's got some darker areas, isn't it, on them? Just build it up. Oh, we'll be out. We'll have early lunch today. I can feel it.
Oh dear.
Been a busy week actually. I sold my posh telescope.
Oh.
Why have you sold that then? Got a
Well,
new one.
I had it for 2 years, and just trouble when you get to a certain age, Pauline. There's always that. I wonder if, what if in the back of your mind, isn't it? If I always wanted, so seize the day, I just fancy to change. Well, I'm going to try something different. I was going to say, but I've already bought a new camera with the money. Well, not new, it's a used one, but it's only a few months old, so I'll have a go at that. Right, I'm going to leave that bit there. Am I? Well, I've set the scene, haven't I? Tilt his chin back up, lay it flat again, because it's but it's a bit like the painting the robin at Christmas, isn't it? The Christmas robin, like I was saying, you never know what you're going to get until you do the eyes. Just going to make it a little bit darker. That mix raw sienna, bit of red. If you want it to go, tone it down even more. Just stick a little bit of burnt umber or another colour, you know, a darker colour into it. But while it's soaking, while the paper is nice and moist, it's your opportunity to look for shady bits. Yeah. And stick them in. Drop them in. A lot of it is we all got different eyesight, haven't we? And for that, which means we see it all, the colour is all totally different, especially when it comes to the shady bits. I've just got a little bit of cerulean blue that I'm going to add into that flesh tone, just to see what happens. I'm pretty sure it'll go a sort of grey. So I'm just going to find some of those, define the line. But while it's still damp, it's a good time to do it because it'll bleed in, won't it? Blend in. Maybe a bit too strong. But it's watercolour, so it'll fade back, won't it? I think I've lost his hairline a bit. Come on, Rowan, you can do it. But I've still got the nice pale flesh there, so I'm going to investigate his ears. The board's flat at the moment as well, so there's no bleed going. Doesn't matter if it gets a bit of blue. It could be quite nice actually. What you need is about 6 different colours of fresh tones just to. It's quite a pointy end on this brush. It's a, what do you call it, Terry Harrison Golden Detail Large. Always found it quite nice. You get stuck in your ways, don't you, with these things? Still nice and wet there. I want to put more of a tone there. I've started with this brush, so I'm going to stick with it before we get the rigger out. Dun, 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 dun. Right, too soon? No, it's not a rigger. It's a smaller brush. I'm going to investigate with that darker flesh tone. Can I do anything with the lips? Well, probably not.
At least we haven't got teeth this week.
Haven't got what? Sorry?
Teeth. We haven't got teeth.
Yeah. Isn't it funny that how so many now I've noticed it. We're all going to be yeah, look, good, nice picture, but the artist was afraid to paint the teeth.
Mind, I was watching Portrait Artist of the Year, and one of them said, "Oh no, don't smile. We don't want teeth."
Yeah. Well, we know why.
Yeah.
Because they're flipping. They're hard. Saying that, I've had a go at I've been doing the Diana Doris. Do you remember that? We did it ages ago now. Well, I kind of didn't. I never finished mine, and in the end I got frustrated, thinking one morning and thought, nah, it's not right, Dave. It's not going. So it went in the bath. Bless her. And but I have taken her to the dentist. So I was looking. motif. I'll show you if I remember later. You can see what I mean about making all the flesh, you know, the background fleshy areas damp at the start. As it's drying out, I'm getting the subtle blends between, you know, the different cheek areas. There's a bit dull there. So the plan is, if I was doing this, I'll tell you what I'm going to do is mix up a little bit of fresh tint down here. That's cerulean blue, I think. Put in some burnt sienna and a little bit of the red. It's gone nice and brown, so we'll add some more of that. What I want is a shadowy tone, not grey, but a grey in amongst my fleshy tone. See what I mean about, I mean, you can keep mixing it and add lots of water, make it thinner and thinner, but isn't it so much easier just to take a knob of the flesh tint anyway, give you a nice base, and then just add a little bit of blue to it. Now I've got the colour that I want straight away. So it's quite handy. Having these little, I've even, as I said earlier, I've even ordered some water-soluble oils, flesh tint, because I thought I've got to be ready. I'm going to get it. Just gonna,
What do we do when you do that then? Have we got to get some?
no, it's not a.
It might be easier, mightn't it? I don't know.
Should we try it? We'll try it. I'll let you. Well, I say on one. Once I've got, if I get any good at it, perhaps one Tuesday morning, we'll do it. You don't have to. It's art, isn't it? So trying to find. That's funny, isn't it? As you do pictures, you can sort of sense things that you're going to have issue with later on. Well, no, you're going to say, oh, I don't like that. I'm already thinking along those. Well, you shouldn't really, because it's negative. Shouldn't think negative, should we? Just okay. Lips, not too bad actually. I need to change the colour. A bit more of a pinky, fleshy colour, but that'll come. I might. It's a bit like being a makeup artist or a hairdresser. That's why Carol's so good at these. It's just like being back on the job, really. Chris will be watching this later. I thought of something I was going to ask her, because in my palette I've got in that box there I've got green, and I'm always joking or saying, don't ask me what green is because I ain't got a clue. It's just out of the box of paints that Chrissy gave me ages ago, and I just squirted in. Well, this morning I noticed what the colour was. As I squirted a bit in, I had to find a new tube, and it was Hooker's green. And it came into my head, wonder what they call it in America.
It's a different
What
word
do they call
in America.
because hooker means something else in America.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah. Prostitute green.
But as I say, the colours I've got the original very pinky, very light watered down flesh tone that I used as a background. There I've just mixed up. Well, it was raw sienna, some of that pink, and I got bored and put a bit of the flesh tint and cerulean blue to give me a sort of a shadowy grey colour. And you can see how wet this board's. It's not drying because as I put the frame lines on, it sort of all spread, which is a bit not quite what I wanted, but hey ho. And as I'm putting shadowy dark bits, try and put some information on the ears, I noticed it's soaking into the paper. This paper is I think it's a bit polite to call it paper, actually. It's it's board, it's more like cardboard. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. I'm gonna add a bit to his eyebrows. I did do a video of the sketch that I did. And I was quite loose with the grid. I didn't measure it or anything really. I just used the watercolor pencils, and I got it wrong initially. I had it all wrong, but I just used I drew the grid, which is I think I printed one out. No, I didn't. But the lines are on the picture, and I just sort of visualized it and put the ruler down and put, yeah, that I need 4 or 5 squares. As long as they were perfect squares, it didn't matter. And worked. I thought it was. I did it deliberately to gauge. You know, if you do it freehand, you haven't got any straight lines, horizontals or verticals to sort of proportion things in where an eye goes and all the rest of it. So I did it sort of semi. I don't care whether, you know, I just want them rough, as long as they look like squares, and they're not, are they? You can't draw bloody squares perfectly by just looking at them. And I thought, I'll get and it was doing it that way. If you watch the video, doing it the way I did it there, it's a sort of combination of drawing freehand and having the structure of the grid to sort of point you in the right direction. And it works really well in the end. Now, Chrissy's green, I'll call it Chrissy's green. But it's just a really watered down version of it. I'm just going to put some in, hopefully. And just let it sit there for now. Of course, we've got a nice bit of highlight we can put on the lips. One thing about the green is you can use it in the flesh to give you the shadow. You can see it's just gone straight in there, and it creates quite a nice. So if you wanted you've got your flesh color, you want to turn it into a shadowy flesh color, add some green. It works really well. Because why? Mentioned it before. Green is the complementary color to red. To the flesh on the color wheel. And that's how you get shadows. Shadow is usually the complementary colour. Shame that's a bit strong there. I would have said there'd be a dark line where the shirt meets the neck. So I'm just going to paint it in, even though I've painted just about all over the place on the shirt. It's always a shadowy line where the tie is. We'll come back later. Once you've got a little bit of that on this brush, you can just carry on that little bit of shadow and find some more. I've got confused where the hair meets the side beards, or whatever they call them. It's like where it meets the ear here. So, fortune favours. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to smooth it across. And I've got a pencil line there. And pencil lines are great when you start off, but as you get further down into the picture, they're a bit of a pain. Still using that dark shadow tone, which is added the green to the. Just thinking about his nose. Got one heck of a proboscis, this bloke. That's posh for a nose.
Oh.
Oh, it's an education coming here on a Tuesday, I can tell you. I've got a big pencil line there. That's what I was just going to say, that sometimes pencil lines are great when you first kick off. But I've noticed that last week they can cause what's the word? I nearly said consternation, but it's not that. They can cause you to get lost on your picture. You sort of, hang on, is that part of his face? Is it part, like I say, is that part of his side beards, or? Oh, I'm being a bit more cautious this week, I think is the word. A bit more delicate. I've got a little bit of that shadow tone on my brush. So I've just dipped the brush in water. So it's more like dirty water coming across there. Need to shave, don't I? Scruffy kid. Pardon? You can't say that on here. Oh, beg your pardon. Well, I might need to lighten it down, but I don't care. It's my picture. I decide what goes on it. Thank you very much. And it is a painting. It isn't a photo. So this is the problem that we always get. We're looking at photographs. And again, it'd be no. If he was stood in front of me, it's no different, is it? It's a photograph, but it's bloody moving, breathing. So, right. A little bit of tone underneath his lips, nose looking good, pencil line there. That's throwing me, but it won't be there later. There's some shadow just there, comes down between the nose. Might need to. The idea is, I've carried on, but you'd walk away and come back, let it dry, then you can make it slightly damp and add some more, water, and it'll soften down really nice. But I'm just going to keep going for a sec. Only problem, well, not a problem. The one thing you have to bear in mind is I haven't put any background in, so that will change the whole shooting match. I was looking for my. Just going to lift off some of the paint on his shirt. If I can. If not, he's going to have a pink shirt. I haven't decided on a colour for the background yet. I've got a little bit of white in my palette, so what I'll do is I'll blend the white in. This would be great with oils. Big dollop of white, and have a nice Omo white shirt. Whereas with watercolour, you have to sort of put it on, come back over and over again, keep about 10 layers of white on it, and if you're lucky, it might disguise the fact that you've gone over it, but it is gouache. So, right, I think what we'll do, let's just dry that off with a hairdryer quickly. And then Carol's gonna make a decision. Not looking too bad.
Like watching paint dry, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very similar.
Oh.
Right, I can hear you again there. Whatever it was, it's all true. That's not looking too bad, actually. I thought the reason I was drawing it, I wanted to decide on a nice background. So get the old mop brush out again. It's funny, isn't it? For years, I never had a mop brush. And now I don't know what to do without one, especially because they always do this same sort of routine at some point. It's only till about 9:45 that I realised I hadn't stretched my paper. Well, the thinking was yesterday or Sunday when I was to just paint it straight without stretching it or putting anything on it, because this card is so thick that you don't need to. But then I thought about it. I was here this morning. I thought, oh no, the only trouble is I use the edge as a palette all the time, don't I? So anyway, as soon as Carol's
Right, I'm back.
wait, while I'm doing the background, I'm just I made it all wet with the
So what colour are you going to put on the hair in case I miss that? And then
I'll probably, what I'm going to do, well, it'll be on the video, but I'll
yeah.
thinking about it, I'm going to put a wash of raw sienna on, and then drop in some burnt umber and blue, see what happens. That's my thinking at the moment.
Right.
For the background, I've just put in a little bit of I've made it wet, and I've got a little bit of cerulean blue in the corner here, and I'm just gonna drop in some cerulean blue in amongst the white. I was hoping to get a nice light bluey grey colour.
Did you paint that white first?
I did. Well, no, I made it wet with water.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to change my brush to a flat one in a minute, so I can get some nice. Yeah. So I made it wet with water, and I just put a little loose coat of white on it because I wanted it to go sort of solid like that. Not to be. I'm using the wrong brush really, but I'll carry on. And I've got this grey colour that I invented, which is a little bit of flesh and a dollop of the blue. This is sort of warm grey, isn't it? And that was what I wanted to do. Is the thing that I think the background, I don't know, in my sort of estimation, should reflect the tones that are in the actual painting. Because if you think about it, if you're stood somewhere, the colours, you will radiate the colours of the surroundings that you're in. So if it's a bright sunny day, you know, you're going to be bright and sunny, aren't you? Reflecting the sun that's shining on you. So I'm thinking in my madness that a portrait I'm doing the same thing using the colours from my palette that I'm using. So these colours are on his face and all around there. So they have to come from somewhere. So the local colour has to be based in, or I think it's a wise move to base it on the colour that you've got in your palette that you're using on the main picture. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, in the original photograph, you could just say it's white, but if you've got a flat brush, you might be able to. I don't know. I wasn't too keen on it having nice defined lines. So there you go. That'll do. And he's got his jacket. Well, that's going to reflect. We'll try it a different way this time. I'll use the little flat brush that I just grabbed, and I'll make it wet with the flat brush. It's the same. If I can find out where his jacket is, I seem to have lost it. Yeah, there. Oh, right. I'm not clean. Just a bit clean water. Put on both sides. There is a slight pencil line that I can just see. This time, I'm going to use the flesh colour, but you can use it. You can mix it up if you've mixed it up. I've still got some left here. This paper is rough finish. It's not a not finish or flat. It's talk about Rumpelstiltskin. It's really, it's like painting on tarmac. It is as well. It's a good analogy, that. No, what I'm going to do is paint it the flesh tone and then drop in the reverse of what I've just done. Drop in some blue, which will turn it, well, I'm optimistic that it will turn it grey. If not, I'll have a chat with Chris because it's very blue. So if I grab a little bit of the cerulean blue on the edge of the brush and drop it in, see what happens. Might have to. I'm not worried about tweed effects. It's just a base colour at the moment. the tweed, I think, is going to be a George moment. Sit down with a grey watercolor, a watercolor pencil, and perhaps like a few bits in. But equally, this is rough finished paper, so it will naturally have.
Oh.
Skunk! Did you see that?
I did.
Oh gosh.
I didn't swear though, did I? Something nearly came out, but it wasn't. It was quite gentle. It was something like, it was something like bugger. But I've always got a bit of tissue in my hand, so actually it's not too bad, is it? Just staves it off. But this is the fan brush. Remember from last week, I was using it a lot on there, wasn't I? Mm. And I was kind of hoping that with the rough finish, I'll get a few. Now there's a line there, isn't there? Okay, it's right across there. I can just put that line in. I'll be happy. I'll leave it because the rest of it can be what it is. And I'm just using the, what do they call that? Cross hatching, in it? Just using the fans, but they're really great. They're sort of bristle, aren't they? They're not. As long as I retain that line, I'll be happy. But it's got little. You can get them on their edge and just sort of flick it. Yeah, well done. We're not too far away. That's a bit. I'm not even looking at the photo anymore. Or the master. If you want to warm it up, just put a little bit of introduce some raw sienna on the brush, and just anywhere where there's a light patch, put some raw sienna, but it's still local to the overall picture because I've been using raw sienna in the flesh as well. So we can just drop a few in. So when it's dry, we can get a watercolor pencil and just dab a few interesting marks in. What's it look like? Stand back? Yeah, it's all right. Not too bad. But like I say, it's got a shoulder bit going there, I think. And a few lines here and there. So is a sort of an acquired taste painting wet in wet, isn't it? Must be happy singing. Actually, people sing for different reasons, don't they? Occasionally, quite often, they sing when they're nervous. To distract, to take your mind off something. So there is that element. I just thought of that. Maybe I've been doing it for years. No, it's not. Normally, when I do it when I'm happy and things aren't going too far astray like they usually do. Yeah. Want a dark. There he is. too much. Never mind. Dark shadow there. And nice bit of shadow there. I think that can come down a bit, that tie. And a bit in there. This is stuff for the rigger, isn't it? Just sort of adding very fine shadowy lines to it. You might find that just adding some white in amongst the tie area, or the sort of man-made objects, help it to, what's the word, solidify, makes it feel more robust. That's a better term. I think I'll leave that for a minute. Just thinking about the jacket. What I'll do, give it a real good grip with some clean water. See if I can get it to run a bit. Oh, it's rough paper, the way it's sort of, you're getting all these sort of divots on it. Get a clean brush here. Lift off some colour that's spreading. It's because I'm not at an angle. Didn't notice that I wasn't at an angle, so when I sprayed, it's going all ways instead of, I wanted it to just go the one way, which was down. Good job though. Now I can just lift that off with a bit of, don't mind if it blurs a bit, do we? Can always tighten it up later. Right, give me a hairdo, Carol. What did we say? Raw sienna. I think the tops. Hang on, let me just dry his hair off. Not his hair. The area around it. I'm going to make his hair wet. Fascinating. Right, yeah. Any sort of, I suppose he should be making noises like yeah, yeah, because he doesn't really talk, does he? Yeah. Just make it. It's just clean water. Must admit, it's looking a bit like a watercolor. Some of the portraits I was started off doing was sort of simulating painting them in oils, really. Gone the other way now. Painting them a little bit more. Yeah, I'm going to stick to my plan, Carol.
Right, okay.
And I'm going to, I've got raw sienna. Flipping it. It's going to be more like, it's going to be more, it's going to end up more like that pop scene.
I think he's quite grey now, isn't he, his hair?
You better ring him up and tell him that Dave's got
ginger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's. Oh, but it's only. I said what you asked me. What my thoughts were. I did say. I said ginger, raw sienna, then burnt umber while it's wet, and then blue, wasn't it? And I'm hoping it doesn't run down into his forehead.
Oh God.
Well, I didn't wet the face, so But I wanted that, if anything, today was about going back to roots, really. Hair roots, yeah. No, going back to roots where we do, you know, fresh water and then build up some layers of paint, because there's tendency to keep forgetting it. Oh, this is going to be brave, because that's just ultramarine blue there, which I'm now going to drop in. As long as you make a mental note of the colours that you're using, so that it's 3 colours, yeah, raw sienna, burnt umber and blue. As long as I remember that combination, when it's dry tomorrow and I want to make it even darker, I can just, or you know, move away from the yellowness or the warmth of the raw sienna. I can either add, I'll just mix up some burnt umber and blue together, and that'll give me a really nice dark colour to put in. But I just thought it would be nice to have a feeling of warmth within his hair. I can't actually put my hand on my heart and say that I can sense it in the photo, but it's just something that I thought that I'd do. There's a few tufty bits at the front that would be better sorted in. I was trying to visualize where the layers. It's got quite thick hair, hasn't it? Well, not having any. I suppose anything's thick for me, but yeah, bear in mind it's a publicity photo, isn't it, as well? So the tendency is, yeah, I'm going to go with that, because I can see like Albany colour. Nobody's that black, are they? If you jet black hair, then fair play to them. Louis Dida. I think I should add a bit of white in his eyes. More dampen. Just down a little bit, I think, before I add some tone. What we need is a really pinky pink. But the trouble with lips, when I've done them, especially if doing them lips on men, if you get them too pink, then they look like lipstick. And it sort of doesn't work. So I don't know what to do about it, really. To make it, you know, I'll experiment and add a touch of raw sienna on it. See if that warms it up. I'll dry it off in a minute and put the hairdryer on it. Add a little bit of raw sienna to his tie, I think. Need a bit of a glow. We've still got our burnt umber and blue over here, which is the dark. So a bit more burnt umber, a bit too much blue, I think. Just didn't want to make his eyes black. I think a little bit of He's got the same sort of eyes as Paul McCartney. Sort of doughy eyes.
Mm.
Just noticed that as I was doing that. I guess it's because I was watching Paul McCartney on TV the other day. All about personal preference and touching up now, isn't it? Apart from that, I just stuck my finger in a big blob of ink. Paint. Stupid boy. Get clean tissue. Always have a packet of Andy Andes in your pocket. And you're a proper artist. Well, can't really. Can't get far with that. There's a few areas that just need a touch up. That's really well. Flesh and grey, fresh and blue gives you that sort of nice little grey tint. Oh, quite loving that. Did notice at one point there is some hair at the back, isn't there? But it's in such sort of shadow. A few strands. Just adds to the flavour. I suppose I should use the burnt umber and blue really to reflect the hair, but something that far away in the shadow doesn't really matter. It is drying back quite nice. It's just a matter of sticking a few, just tightening up a few bits really. Doesn't this ever feel like George painting portraits like this? Amazing. One thing I am going to do quickly is, if you can, just lift some of this clean water, just tighten this up. Went a bit too strong there. Same there. Should be able to lift them off, especially tomorrow when it's bone dry. Yeah, I think I was a bit strong with those, which is fine. Need to get actually for today, for the now and the moment, I'm going to try just a little bit of white on it. Nah, it's not going to work. Have to let it. I think lifting it off with clean water is the option, best option. find it. Shame, really. I'm doing quite well there. That was sneakily waiting for me in the background to spoil my afternoon. Maybe they're just a bit strong for me. So clean water. Should be able to lift them out. Which
Okay.
is always
Right.
the.
Sorry, I've got to go now. Anyway.
Well, we
Okay.
got a hair done for you and the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can look at the video anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you then. So I won't see you next week.
All right. Well, have.
Okay.
I was going to say have fun, but it won't be fun, will it? It'll be,
Not really. No.
No.
Okay then. See you
Okay.
soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye
Carol.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Cheers, Carl.
Bye.
So there's a. Made them a little bit lighter anyway, so I've got a little bit of.
You right? Thank you.
Nice. Somewhere. Oh, there. There he is. Which we can add some doodle. A little bit of pinkiness to his eyes. Got a load, big blob came off there. So frustrating. Get a big blob of paint. Too much water. Was it? You know, the more you do it, even when you think you've got it sus, something will come along and rain on your parade. What I'm going to do quickly to use some little bits of lighter colour, sometimes called white, here and there, and put a little bit on their lip. I've still got the dark tone here, which we can a little bit of fleshy bits too. I'm just going to put a thin line across here for a minute, see what happens, and then think about it. Yeah, those faded back, not too bad now, those
Yeah, it's a lot better. Isn't it?
tram lines on his head.
Yeah, very good.
Get rid of some of these pencils. Lines later, they'll dry out quite nicely. Just put my hand in that, I think. Do you reckon this is a promo photo, isn't it? So there's a fair chance that this has been airbrushed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
So, you know, you think you were, yeah, it would have been shot in a sort of studio lighting setting for a start off. The big decision is how far to bring that earlobe down. Just using a bit of that grey colour. Well, I'm going to go to there. Let's go to about there. Put a line of paint, clean water on the brush, just soften it down underneath the paint. See what happens. Sort of gives it a little bit of nice. Stand back, have a look. It is Mr. Bean, isn't it? I can see Mr. Bean in there. That's the main. That's my main.
Like it with a softer paint.
I didn't quite catch that.
I said I like it with the softer paint rather than your oil paint style.
Yeah. Well, it's more of a watercolor now.
Yeah, yeah, it's very nice.
Which is what I was saying, you know, it's nice. But I think today's main, I don't know, thrust is the beginning, right at the start, when I said start with the flesh tone and make it really, watered it down. So I sprayed it, made it really loose, and give yourself a base, an undercoat, really, isn't it, of flesh.
Yeah, it worked very well.
But if you make the make it wet first with clean water, then you'll get all those nice soft nuances within the, you know, as it dries back, you'll get some contours and textures floating around. Well, they'll arrive. And I was a bit concerned actually using, because this is, as I said, it's serious bit of paper.
Is that your two rivers?
No, yeah, I think it is. Sorry, yeah. You said no then. Yeah. It's
well behaved paper though, even if it's thick, isn't it?
Absolutely. And of course you can paint both sides.
Yes, true.
It's not a new sheet. I was doing something out in the log cabin the other day, and I thought, oh, what's that? Oh, I didn't even know it was there. So I thought, right, we'll go for that. Don't like that. The jacket, I'm gonna, when it dries, I've got some. That's green. Got a wodge of watercolor pencils. So when it dries, you can just sort of sit there and stick a few herringbones or whatever they are in. It'll sort of should make it look quite nice.
Yeah, give it a bit of texture.
Say, don't know what that is. W.H. Smith. Yeah, I wouldn't use W.H. Smith pencil on my work. But yeah, you can just sort of pencil a few fine lines and being I've got an advantage here because it's rough. Being so rough, all I've got to do is
the textured look anyway.
Yeah.
And it's riding over the tops of the rough, so it's given me a sort of, or it will do, sort of a rough similarity of the paint of the pattern. You can't really, you can use them when it's wet, but it will sort of bleed. Yeah. Right. I think decision time there, isn't it? More. What happened there? Don't ask. I flipped it. There we go. But
Makes all the difference, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
since you add a
Brings him alive.
little bit of sparkle to the eyes, when it's dried and I rub out the pencil lines, I'm not going to do it now, so it'll probably well, it's not the time to do it when it's because the paper is still soaking wet. It's all bubbling out. You can see it's taking the paper away here. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with this. We're getting better at these things now. I think painting this, I mean, I'm going to do some oils anyway, but I still think I shall paint it the same way, but you'll get a slightly more opaque finish. But the actual, I think the methodology I'll use will be the same. Just putting a bit of white there. Which always looks a bit weird at first, but because they're watercolors, it fades back. And as it dries, and it doesn't look anything like as bad. It just does what I'm trying to do, is to highlight that little area a bit. But if you do it one place, you should really do it the other side, I think. Just balance it up. But these are nuances that you can spend ages. Just take a little bit off doing, and it'll fade. That'll fade back quite nicely now. I did put a little bit of highlight on his lip. I'm still not happy about the lips, but I knew that they were going to be a problem right from the get-go because of the.
He's got such a big lip, hasn't he, really?
Because of the pinkness of them. They're almost too pink. And to get them to stand out strong is never going to be easy.
No.
But I've got this big pencil mark here, which is making the nose look a bit false. It's not like that. Once the pencil mark comes off, it'll look fine. Take on it. Do we have an early bath or what?
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah.
That's really good.
It's a bit more of a character, whatever that word. Yeah. One of those than I would normally do. But then again,
like you say, it's not a photograph.
It isn't a photograph. And once it's dried back, I've got the options to add a few things. I'll try and hang on. Then got this sticky rubber here. If I dry this bit area there. See if I can just lift it off. Might have to paint it off. There's pencils and pencils, aren't there? Some pencils are so determined not to come off. Looks like this is one of them. It's one of these black wing pencils, and they come with a rubber on the end. And I've got a funny feeling. Yeah, here we go. I've always got a funny feeling, but the rubber on the end of the pencil is the one that rubs out the pencil. Other rubbers don't work. It's a shame that. Because it means,
Find out that much though.
yeah, it just means I'll have to what do you call it? Add a little bit of white over the top of it to cover it over, which will fade back. And see if I can find a little bit of skin tone to put over. So now I'm no, that'll dry back okay, I think. But like I say, on these, when you do these things, they also have consequences on the other part of the picture because it will affect the balance elsewhere. That's not too bad. That'll fade back. Just want to put a little bit more going down there, and a little bit there, and a little bit on the tip of the nose at some point, which is going to be hard until it dries, but you'll be okay. Dun, dun. Yeah. Well, that new pinky colour seemed to be okay.
It's very good. It's a nice colour underneath.
Yeah. Well, I must admit I did change it quite a bit.
Mm.
So
As a base colour, it's very good.
yeah, we'll have to just tidy that bit up over there. And then at some point, a little dollop of white on the end of his nose always makes it look a little bit, stands out a bit more.
Yeah.
Because basically noses are just skin
Yeah.
over a top of something else. So
Unless they're boxers.
say that I knew that area was going to be a bit of a chore for me because of the pencil. But yeah, I'll live with it. As it dries back, I'll put some more on it, and it won't look too bad. Right. I think it's out. Got to watch where you put your hands around here. Right, over to you lot. You can have a go now.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, looks quirky. Well, it looks quirky, which I like. Looking forward to seeing everyone's version of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, be good.
But as I say, with it, what I found a lot with the portraits is you have to leave it for a day or so, or gradually do it in layers. And come back, you know, successive days. It dries. When it dries really, really well, then you can, you know, you can spray the whole thing or make a particular area wet again and do another wet and wet wash sort of thing, you know, which is with these portraits, I'm finding that seems to be the way to get that nice, I don't know, what's the word, soft blends of colour.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get too many firm lines. And if you spray it and just drop the colour in, it's really good. You learn a lot as well, because you have to sort of, does the board need to go that way, and is it better when it's flat? And so there's a lot of that going on.
That was very
Yeah,
good.
that's good. Yeah.
And cold. Well, I thought that would be, oh, and I was going to show, I'll do my cow, wasn't it? I was going to show it. Hang on. Switch cameras. Yeah, posh cameras.
Oh wow, yeah, no, that's brilliant. Really good.
Yeah. Well, I've added, hang on, let me see if I can spotlight it a bit more. Yeah. See what I was doing with the little grey pencil flicking.
Yeah.
In
I
and
know, it's very effective.
Dried back quite nice.
Yeah.
Looking at it now, just extend that down a bit. I don't know. Overall, I'm quite pleased with that.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
It's got a nice expression.
Yeah.
As I said right at the beginning, Diana's
no eyes. Diana, no eyes.
Yeah.
been to the dentist though.
Yeah.
I will finish it. I love this picture. I don't know why.
Yeah,
It
she
reminds
does
me.
need eyes.
I don't know who it is.
No, I like the cow.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I must get on and finish mine before I start the next one.
I haven't started yet because we went out the weekend.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It's our first outing for months.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really nice to get out.
Yeah, I bet. Where did you go? Somewhere nice?
It was the caravan club, well, camping.
Oh, right.
It was their end of season party.
Oh, right. Oh, nice.
So it was a dance, really.
Yeah.
Free booze and free drink.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it was a good night. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice to see everybody.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, we're all walking around with masks, but
yeah,
just to be careful. But it was still nice to get out.
There are a lot of people that don't wear them, though.
They are, yeah. They're trying to persuade them again, aren't they?
Yeah, I know. I don't know what the problem is really, but
yeah, no, we still wear ours.
Yeah, I do as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. This is a bit crazy. It's going. Actually, the cases around here have been going down. This, but it went really. The peak, the hour, it was right up here.
Yeah.
But it has come down a bit.
Yeah.
The last couple of days.
Our area is starting to creep up again.
Yeah, someone was on Facebook this morning. What do you call it? Next door forum. And they were on about, oh, I don't like to worry you lot, but Paul, it's really bad, and you know, some of the cases are really going up.
Yeah.
It's creeping up again.
Well, like I say, a lot of my friends have had it. And you sort of think that's a worry, isn't it? Luckily, I haven't been near them before they've had it or after, but yeah, it just shows you that it's still out there.
Now, ours have managed to stay clear.
Yeah.
I was saying at the party, actually, how lucky we all were, because they said somebody put their hands up who knows anybody, and nobody did.
Yeah, I know. I was like that last year, but this year it's you know, it's been a lot.
Yeah, I think it's coming from schools.
Yeah, you say that, but the couple that I know have just had it, they're not they're not near their grandchildren or anything,
right.
so they
Yeah.
haven't caught it from
Yeah.
there. But
Trouble is,
it,
you don't need to wear.
it depends on how much socialising you do as well. And
Yeah.
some of my friends do socialise quite a lot, so
Oh,
obviously
right,
they're
yeah.
going to come in contact with somebody,
Yeah.
aren't they?
We're still being very nervous.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But we sure keep our fingers crossed. We've all had our boosters now.
Yeah, that's right.
Best
all
we
you
can do.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And be careful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you
Right,
see all
I'm gonna
those
go
people
then, and I'll
in.
see you next week.
Yeah.
I don't know how to turn it off, so I'm just going to walk away.
Well, I'll do it.
right.
I'll end it. I'll end
Okay.
it for you.
All right. I'm going as well. So we'll see you all next week.
Yes.
Thanks very
Yeah, I
much,
know.
Dave.
Yeah.
Really
Cheers,
good.
David. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Really
Bye
enjoyed
now.